India is close to finalizing a first-of-its-kind trade deal that could see a small group of European nations invest as much as $100 billion over the next 15 years in exchange for easier trade access to the world's most populous nation. And according to people with the knowledge of this particular matter, this is a done deal. The European Free Trade Association, which comprises Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, made a commitment to invest in India as part of a trade pact that is in its final stages of negotiations. The people said, in fact, this is related to talks which are still ongoing. The contours of the deal have been agreed and deliberations are currently on, and the finalization of the investment amount will also be forthcoming soon, which could be, as like I mentioned earlier, $100 billion over the next 15 years. Some of the people also went on to say that India wants commitment to be legally binding. One of the officials also went as far as to say that the amount will be likely framed as a goal, with no legal means to claim it included in the language of the agreement. If finalized, it would mark the first time an investment commitment of this nature is secured by India as a part of a free trade agreement. Ajay Jandial, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast to talk more about this. Ajay, this is great, keeping in mind that India wants to get to the 7 trillion mark as soon as 2028. All right, well, a deal which is in final negotiations is likely to be a deal of the decade. It's definitely going to open up areas where India can prosper. Dr. Sharath Kohli, senior economist, with us on the program. Dr. Kohli, $100 billion by the European Union over the next 15 years. This, in more ways than one, is going to facilitate, a lot of trade and commerce and people-to-people connection with these countries. And secondly, this is also significant in terms of a grand shift from what the European Union has been doing for the past couple of decades, and that is rely on China.
Undoubtedly, Vineet, this is clearly indicating a shift from China to India. And the unique aspect of this deal is that normally when two countries, they enter into an FTA, a free trade agreement, it's for bilateral trade. I mean, goods coming in at discounted or nil tariffs, goods going out, merchandise going out at discounted or nil tariff. But this is a very unique agreement where India has secured as part of the FTA deal that it must have $100 billion of investment over the next 15 years. And I think it is very pertinent to note, Vineet, that India's largest amongst these 4 countries, primarily, which are part of this deal, which is Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, and Liechtenstein. I think India was primarily dealing with about $17 billion plus of bilateral trade with Switzerland. With the remaining 3, that is Norway, Iceland, and Liechtenstein, we did not have as much trade. It was barely about $1 billion plus. I think this will also bring all these 3 countries in the fold. And not many people know, Vineet, that Switzerland is not just known for bank accounts or chocolates. There's a lot of things that Switzerland exports. We've got chemicals, pharmaceuticals, we've got watches, textiles, apparel. So I think a very unique deal, I must say, and I must appreciate the Indian, diplomacy or the negotiators from the trade, from the Commerce Ministry, who have managed to secure this kind of condition, that $100 billion in return of an FTA. A very, very appreciative move. I think it will open new gates, especially in the backdrop of the new IMEC corridor, which has been planned, the India, Middle East, Europe corridor. I think that corridor will open gates for rest of Europe as well. And these 4 countries are located northwards. So I think this is an absolute breakthrough, I would say, for the northern part of Europe as far as Indian bilateral trade is concerned. Vineet.
Right, Dr. Kohli, appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for those inputs. All right, well, this is a deal which is in its final stages. The negotiations are on, but the fact of the matter is that this is a dawn of a new era between Europe and India.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.